We
are
cultivate.
cultivate.
We are cultivate.
Hello and welcome to a special mini-sode of Ye Olde Crime, the show where Maddie and I discuss the funny, strange, and obscure crimes of yesteryear every Wednesday. This special bi-weekly segment is called Can You Crack the Cramp-Word, which is slang for a difficult or obscure term, which I thought was very fitting. And joining me today is Abigail from the Manic Pixie Weirdo podcast. And before we begin, I'd like to give her the opportunity to tell us a little more about herself and her show before we get started.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. So, I'm the host of the Manic Pixie Weirdo podcast, where we talk about all the different kinds of relationships that you can have in your life, from like math to Marvel to casinos to depression, mental health issues, all different kinds of stuff. Yeah, so that's what we do.
Awesome. So where did the name come from?
The Manic Pixie Weirdo. Well, it's a play on a derogatory word for a woman in it's a film or movie trope called the Manic Pixie Dream Girl. And I
Gotcha.
switched it to weirdo because it wasn't inclusive enough for me. So I just tweaked it a little bit.
I like it. So, as you mentioned, your show covers kind of all forms of relationships, not just the ones that we have with different people. So, what sort of got you interested in starting your podcast on this topic?
Well, two things. One was arrogance on my part because I didn't think that it was going to be that difficult. But it's fun. It's fun. It's so much fun. And then two, it was actually originally an idea that I had with my mom, and we were going to do it together. And we had always sort of envisioned the show being about all the different kinds of relationships, not just like the ones that you have with your mom or your stepbrother or cousin or whatever. So yeah, that's kind of where that came from.
Gotcha. For people who are unfamiliar with the format of your show, from what I've noticed anyway, and like going through your back catalog and listening to episodes, is that you'll do a solo episode about a specific topic or type of relationship, like polyamory, for example, which is something that maybe not many people would know about. And then in the following week, you would have a guest or multiple guests on to discuss the topic from their perspective.
Yeah.
Have you found it hard to find guests to kind of discuss these topics with you?
Yes and no. I think it depends on the topic. For the most part, not really. I haven't had that much trouble. I've had more trouble with like coming up with like trying to figure out what am I going to do this week. The topics more than I've had like finding people. Once I find a topic, then it's much easier for me to like find a direction to find people. But yeah, so a little bit of both, I guess.
Sure. Is there a particular, relationship that you've either already covered on your show or that you plan to cover in the future that you're really excited about?
Yeah, so this coming week, I'm going to be doing my relationship with my mental health, just like as a general topic, like mental health in general. And I'm really kind of interested to see like where my brain takes me because it is sort of like a stream of consciousness kind of show for my solo episode. So we're going to dig some stuff up, I bet.
Always a fun time digging stuff up. As someone who has depression and bipolar disorder and a little bit of anxiety, I kind of get it. So,
Yep, I'm right there with you.
Hear ye, the dishonorable widow Abigail will now speak. Attention, all weirdos, losers, rednecks, white trash, aliens, outcasts, outliers, sluts, whores, gangsters, thugs, poors, and anyone else who the world and society don't care about. I have a podcast for you. Come join me at the Manic Pixie Weirdo, where we talk about all the different kinds of relationships we have in our lives. from movies to math and suicide hotlines to sex. Join us every Saturday for a new episode featuring yours truly and other smarter folk. We need you, and we want you with us. So come join us at the Manic Pixie Weirdo, where we accept, respect, and value you. Listen on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcasts. Oh yeah, be kind and stay weird.
Well, that is the last of my interview questions. So if you are ready, we can move on to the slang term portion of the show.
Yes. Okay, I'm super excited.
Okay. So your first term is ring pigger with a P.
Can you?
Like the animal.
Okay. Ring pigger. Okay, this is gonna be so wrong, but I feel like it's a farm term, like a farmer would use to talk about like getting his pigs like all together. Like if you put them in a pigsty, like you need to round them up, kind of thing. I don't know if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, totally wrong though.
Just a little bit, but it's okay. Ring pigger is actually, it's slang for a drunkard, a pisshead, or an alcoholic is the nicest way to put it.
Oh my gosh, I'm using this. This is my new, yes.
Right? I saw this and I was like, what?
Bring it back.
I'll have to start a petition. Bring it back. Okay. So your second term is crooked-nosed knave.
That sounds like an insult. Sounds like somebody would insult somebody with that. Maybe it means like you got your nose broken in a fight, and so now you're a crooked-nosed knave. I don't know. It just sounds like an insult to me.
It is an insult because a crooked-nosed knave is someone who is classless or ridiculous.
Ooh. Feisty.
I'm trying to think of what that would be. Yeah, like what would the current equivalent to that be? Like they're sus? Or
Yeah.
if you're ridiculous. I'm trying to think of what you would call somebody if you're ridiculous.
Ludicrous? No.
My mind goes back to like the 90s, like, you're so whack. Like something totally ridiculous like that.
That's good though. That's good.
That's
That's
whack.
probably, yeah, exactly. Yes, I see it. Yes.
So that's the 1890s version of the 90s, the 1990s whack.
That's so great.
Just 100 years difference.
Yeah, right. Got shorter. It's okay.
Yeah. We just shaved off a lot of those crooked noses and made it really short.
Yep.
Well, I would like to thank Abigail for joining me today for Can You Crack the Cramp-Word? And before we go, can you tell our listeners where they can find you on social media?
Yeah, absolutely. So the best place to get in touch with me is on Twitter at MP Weirdo Podcast. Or you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok, _main_weirdo1. But you can also get a hold of me through email, manicpixieweirdo@protonmail.com.
Awesome. And when do new episodes of your show come out?
Noon on Saturdays.
Noon on Saturdays. Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you again. It was so nice talking to you and like putting a face to the name. It's probably my favorite part of doing these segments is being able to like finally see fellow podcasters.
I know, right? Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for having me. This has been so much fun.
Yeah, no problem. And on that note, as always, I'm Lindsay, and I'll see you next time with another tale as old as crime.